Hey, everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian. I'm joined by the man that's always in the age of Aquarius, Rich Stambolian.
Do not doubt what Andrew said. I am always in the age of Aquarius, even though I am a Cancer.
And we have MG Geek here with us, hanging out on the line, our producer, and I believe Jonathan will most likely call if he's not in a pot-induced coma at this point. He's back in Los Angeles. He's back
in a meth-induced coma.
Is it always meth? Is that what it is?
It's always meth. I mean, you guys turned me on to crystal meth like a couple of months ago. And listen, let me tell you something. I get a lot of shit done. I'm so high on methamphetamines all the time that my day starts at 7 in and it ends at 9 in. I get everything done in those 2 hours.
This is not wrestling related or NXT Takeover Vengeance related, but I have a friend actually. Her grandfather got addicted to Sudafed, right?
No, addicted to Sudafed.
Yes, he would love it because it would like make him. It's an upper, right? So he would literally take uppers all day long. And she came like, we were at a friend's house. She came by and she's like, "Yeah, my grandfather's addicted to methamphetamines." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh.
And we found out he's just pumping Sudafed all day long. Poor little old man. Let him do whatever he's doing. He's 90-something years old.
Oh, he was. Oh, I thought you.
He was like 82 years old. This man.
Okay.
Mic check.
Yeah, there you go. Jonathan's also
the original Snoop Dogg.
The original Snoop. So we're gonna run down this card as quickly as possible, and then after each match, we're gonna have MG Geek and Jonathan give us their opinions. I thought this was a decent show. By decent, I mean I enjoyed it a lot. I know a lot of people get very upset when I use the term decent to describe something, but I really much enjoyed the show. I thought it was nice and quick, 2.5 hours, got the point across, set up angles at the end. Rich, before we go on and breaking down the first match, what did you think of it overall?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Again, I feel like I'm biased because we do this, and I enjoy watching wrestling with you, specifically doing the show and doing the watch-alongs. I'm going to give it a B+.
A B+, okay. I give it a B.
Yeah.
B+. Not bad. It was decent. No cap. No cap.
I don't know what that means again.
MG Geek, it means that no lie. Cap means lie, right. So no lie. MG Geek, what did you think? God. Did you enjoy the show?
I did enjoy the show. There was a lot of times when I actually was glad I wasn't on the whole time because I was popping hard for a couple spots in the last two matches specifically.
Yeah.
Both the women's match and the main event were, I thought, solid, just solid, well-worked bell-to-bell matches.
Jonathan, what about you?
I enjoyed it a lot. It was a good, entertaining pay-per-view. And I put a poll on the Twitter. 66% of people think it was an A, 29B, 1.4 C, and then 2.9 F. So
interesting. So I mean, already 7 people have voted this. You just posted this 2 minutes ago. So
it says 69.
69 people.
Nice.
Of course it does. Nice.
All right.
But 65 people, 65% thought it was an A show. I thought it was a pretty decent show. I enjoyed it. Nice and quick. So let's get started here. The opening match was Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez against Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon, the new tag team that's been formed. Very uniformed in their outfits. They matched Shotzi and Ember. One thing I took away from this, forget about the end result. One thing I took was that Shotzi and Ember really look like a really good tag team.
Absolutely. They flowed very well together. They got the look down. They got the moves down. I think their chemistry together is pretty fantastic. I know that Ryan mentioned the story going forward on NXT could be Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart split, and I'm cool with that. And they gave them a lot of time.
Yeah, they gave them a ton of time. What was it, 17 minutes, MG Geek? You timed it at?
Yeah, 17 minutes. 17.
Yeah, listen, they did a phenomenal job. A lot of people were a little... They were concerned to see how these four mesh, and I thought they did a great job. I was actually more impressed with Raquel Gonzalez than anything else. She looked really good in this match. Dakota Kai, we know it's good. Shotzi, getting to a really good point. But it made you root for these two, right? You were rooting for Shotzi and Ember, and that's, for an NXT crowd, considering that we're kind of, NXT is a smarter, and I'm using hand quotes here, smarter audience. People were very, they got into it, suspension of disbelief. People really got into the storytelling, and they really wanted Shotzi and Ember to win. They did not. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez won. What do you think? Good pick for this, Rich?
Good pick for this. I want to see where it goes. I know you and I were wrong in our pick for the match, but I want to see what happens. So does this mean Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez go to WrestleMania to face Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler?
Yeah.
Or is that going to happen at Elimination Chamber?
It's going to be a 4-way if it goes to Mania. It will be all the brands represented in a 4-way. That's what I think. Okay. Like they've always done, just to get as many people on that card as possible.
That chokeslam was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
she did that to Io in the War Games match.
Yeah, I have a prediction. I have a prediction about Dakota Kai. I think she's going to be one of those. What?
Nothing.
I'm waiting for this to be like really dirty.
No, it's not going to be dirty at all. I think that they're going to pull the Carmella or Alexa thing where she never wins a title on NXT, but when she goes up to the main roster, is one of those women that have a prominent title run.
Who is it? Shotzi you talking about? Right. Dakota Kai. You mean?
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai.
That's actually you know what? I can see that happening. Very much so.
Jonathan, you sound so elated right now.
So thumbs up. I will say all of us give a thumbs up.
I give it a thumbs up. I will say one thing before we move on real quick is I've noticed that they I noticed that they have go back doing a lot of these old school finishes with the referees and these type of matches, and I really like that because it's just so simple and it works, and it's like you're a dumbass referee. Why are you getting distracted? And it works every time for the heels. So kudos to them for bringing that back.
Did a very good job. I very much enjoyed this match. Second match on the show, we had MSK versus the Grizzled Young Vets. I was not into this as much as some other people were. Not saying it was not a good match. I'm not invested in either tag team.
Agreed.
And I think this being on a takeover show, that's a prominent position. I understand. Listen, it's the Dusty Rhodes Classic Finals, but this is where you start seeing like, okay, this is the rebuilding era of NXT. They had a solid 5 years with the people that they had in prominent positions, and now they've gone back to rebuilding, much like what they did with Raw early on in the year. I thought these guys did a good job. MSK is a really good tag team. Grizzled Young Vets, decent tag team. I was a thumbs in the middle because I'm not invested in these guys, but that's not saying that it wasn't a decent match. Rich, what about you?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the post-climax of the match better than the beginning of the match. I thought they really ended it on a strong note. It was fun to watch. I do think at some point they are going to split the team and Desmond Xavier is going to be WWE's guy.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. But it was good. You know what? Thumbs up.
All right. MG, what about you?
I thought it was solid. I kind of agree with you. It was hard to, I was trying to, actually, this is where the match where we were doing a lot of chatting in the room, and I was trying to like keep up with everything. So it was good. But as far as Dusty Classic, you go back and some of those matches the Undisputed Era had, I don't know if it competed with that.
I don't think it did. But here's something else, right? AEW kind of does this, is in a similar positioning with building a lot of the younger tag teams. They're doing the same thing where they're putting eyeballs on these guys that don't necessarily have the experience or on-screen presence yet, but they're building them. This is another example of that on the NXT side where MSK, they're young. They have something. Same thing with Grizzled Young Veterans. They have something. It's just not at that polish that we're used to with teams like DIY and Undisputed Era. Jonathan, did you enjoy this match?
I did. So I'm not someone that watches NXT regularly, but this match did make me want to go and enjoy a MSK storyline and see what they're up to.
All right. So thumbs up for you. I'm thumbs in the middle on this one.
Yeah, you doing the sideways?
I'm doing a sideways.
That's going to be a tight fit.
It's a
What's next,
tight
Andrew?
fit. We got NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai, Toni Storm, and Mercedes Martinez. I thought this was a good match. I thought this was a really good three-way. It made sense what they did. I'm actually a little surprised Toni Storm did not win this. Interested to see where they head with this. Maybe they'll do a title change on TV to pop a rating. Io Shirai, very polished. Toni, very polished. Mercedes Martinez really has a strong presence. She meshed so well with both of these people in this match. Match ended. Io Shirai retained. Kind of stole it from Toni Storm at the end, so you could see that positioning happening. This was a definite thumbs up for me. Very much enjoyed it. How about you, Rich?
I enjoyed it a lot. Nice and quick. It felt like it was longer. Like you said, man, it's a pleasure to watch them all go at it. I love Io Shirai. I feel like she is such a perfect wrestler. I'm using the air quotes like Andrew did before. Toni Storm, we thought she was going to take it, but we were wrong. Mercedes Martinez looked great. The best thing that Mercedes Martinez has done in the last year is say, hey, I don't want to be in Retribution.
Oh, my God. A smart decision on her side.
Mm-hmm.
MG Geek, this is your match. What did you think? Io Shirai's your girl.
I liked it. So for the record, I was shocked.
Of course.
It was 12 minutes and 13 seconds.
That was it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they gave it more time, but they didn't. I think the length actually helped the match.
So it did. So for example, did you miss the Johnny Gargano Kashida match, or did you skip it for?
I skipped it by mistake, but we'll get to that after this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So to the time for that, because that one felt long. This felt a little short, but it did work. And like I said at the very end, when we were on earlier, Toni Storm was protected. And I think that meant a lot because she's going to get that title eventually. I think that's where they're going.
Toni Storm, yeah, has to.
Yeah. She's got all the things, whatever that means.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Absolutely. Thumbs
up. Jonathan, what did you like?
I love seeing Toni Storm wrestle. And not just because she's an attractive young lady, just because it's an enjoying
she's good
to watch her wrestling. Yeah. I will say this, and I'm going to call it, in the next 5 years, there's going to be a bloodbath at WrestleMania between Toni Storm and Alexa Bliss, and I can't wait.
Oh,
really?
Man, that's quite a... You know what? If you are right, if that actually happens, here's what we're going to do.
Bloodbath.
I'm going to... If that actually happens, I'm going to pay for your flight to come to New York. Okay.
Oh boy.
Let's say you're not here. You're still in LA. Right. And I will take you out to a place that I know you would love to go. And all of it is on me.
Got it. 5 years. So what WrestleMania is that? 37? So it's what, 42?
Yeah.
WrestleMania 42.
By 42. By 42.
By 42. Yeah. Okay. Mark it down.
Mark it down.
Also, you have to note that Andrew didn't say what airline or mode of transportation that you're coming here.
Yeah.
And he was also vague about the place.
Yeah, like very vague.
It could be a hot air balloon trip that cost Andrew $100, and you'd be stuck over. You'd be stuck over the Midwest for like a week.
I want to be an old timey hot air balloon weirdo. I want to have a top hat, and I just want to say goodbye to my wife and just fly to work in my hot air balloon.
Andrew,
yeah.
If the world opens up by summertime, can me and you do some kind of hot air balloon experience where we film ourselves talk about wrestling while we're
hot
in
air balloon?
On a hot air balloon.
We go to Long Island. They have a hot air balloon.
Hot
thing.
airmen.
Do it. Airmen.
Hot airmen, baby. Let's do it.
Let's
do it. That's so accurate. Okay.
Let's do it.
Beautiful.
Add another one to the list of shows that are never going to happen.
Jeez, MG Geek, save your microaggressions to your microaggressions to yourself, man.
Shitty microaggressions,
dude. Thumbs up for this match.
Right,
right up MG Geek's butt.
Yeah. I skipped over the previous one, which I shouldn't have, but we had Johnny Gargano and Kashida for the North American Championship. I thought this was a really, really good match. However, I think it went a little too long. Couple minutes too long. There was a couple moments in there. It could have been the placing. of the match. It could have also been the way that we were watching. I'm trying to reposition this chair and I'm moving around like a lunatic.
How do you like that chair, by the way?
I love it actually, but the problem is it's so good. It's like it's dense, so I don't have the same like easy, swift mobility. So I gotta like actually put effort in to move the chair.
Look like Axl Rose.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, look at this guy's dancing with Mr. Brownstone right now.
Yeah. Let's talk about the North American Championship. I thought it was a really good match. Again, a little bit too long. Johnny Gargano retained, which I was shocked to see that happen. That he retained the title. I thought this would have been a good time to put the title on Kashida, considering we saw, a fluke loss already by Gargano with that title. They put it on someone that really shouldn't have had it for storyline purposes. I don't see a negative of putting that title on Kashida. It would have also opened up other challengers that may not be facing Johnny, that may not mesh with Johnny Gargano at this level. But
true.
Gargano now has the title, keeps the title. Where do you go from here, Rich?
First of all, this was a 25-minute match.
Yeah, that's why I said a couple of minutes too long.
Pretty nuts. I think, you know what? It could have done with a little bit of trimming. It was a good match. The two things that I gathered from it is, one, I feel like they're not letting Kashida go at full bore, and I'm going to compare it to Sami Zayn versus Nakamura for Nakamura's debut. What a match. I could watch that match all damn day, right?
Yeah.
I think they need to let Kashida do what he does in a giant way, and then he'll be over like nobody's business. Gargano is it safe to, all right, I'm gonna ask this to you guys in the chat room too. Is it safe to say that Johnny Gargano is the John Cena of NXT? Think about it.
I'm gonna say no. Box. I'm gonna say no because he hasn't been the guy with the title. You know what I mean? I would.
He had the title, but
I know, but not for a long period. He didn't hold it.
To me, he's the Dolph Ziggler.
Really?
He does nothing for me.
Closer.
Gargano does nothing for you. Interesting.
Gargano does a lot for me, but it just I wouldn't put him on that John Cena label.
Charlie Orr says Johnny Gargano is the Tommy Dreamer of NXT.
I think that's Finn Balor's the John. I think Finn Balor's the John Cena of NXT.
Well, I meant the way I meant the John Cena is you can do anything with Johnny Gargano and it's not going to matter. Like win, lose,
it doesn't matter.
Right. It doesn't matter. He's untouchable.
Yeah.
He's untouchable. So like him having that
he's
title.
He's a guy that doesn't need the title or not. He is what you really. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like you could do anything with Gargano at this point, and it's gold. Or if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. Like, do you think the way is gonna? All right. Here's a more of a better extrapolation of what I'm trying to say. If the way doesn't work, it's not gonna hurt Johnny Gargano.
Correct. By the way, what happened with that? They left to go find Austin Theory. The girls went and find him, and they just left.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
That was weird. Yeah. Like I thought they were going to pay that off, and they didn't. Maybe that was a red herring they wanted to throw out there.
So I'm going to give this match a thumbs up with the asterisk.
It should have been 18 minutes.
Yo, man, speak English.
5 hours. I can't.
Speak American.
Speak American.
American.
What is it? You don't know? What are you in this country? You can't speak American?
Speak American.
Talking for 6 hours, you kind of lose it. What are you? Speak American, bro. You're in America. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up with that. It was a little bit too long. Now, main event: Finn Balor, Pete Dunne. Great match, great storytelling.
Phenomenal.
Definitely a thumbs up. But the story was they did a back and forth. Balor's fingers were destroyed. Pete Dunne just crushed all of his fingers. He was about to take his shoes off to break his toes, but the match ended at that point. I would have liked to see that. Just he takes his shoe off and starts breaking his toes. That would have been nice.
Breaking him up. Do you think the finger breaking and the toe breaking is passé at this point?
I think it's used a lot. I think initially when the UK guys came over and they started running that spot, Marty really brought it to North America.
Yes.
popularized it. Then you had Pete Dunne doing it, and a couple other people. It's a spot that everybody runs. But now I think he did it a little too much in that match. I know it was part of the story they were telling, but I think that spot is good for like 2 spots, and that's it. You can't do it more than that in a match.
Do you think it would have been better storyline wise if Finn knew what was coming for him and he showed up with mittens?
Yeah, I would have loved the mittens. The mittens would have been the answer here. I think went back and forth the whole match. Very competitive, close calls. The end, Balor hit him with the coup de grace and the Sunday Bloody Sunday. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Balor's leaving. Here comes Imperium. Beat down, putting the boots to him. Who saves him? It wasn't Imperium. No,
it's Birch and Lorcan.
Birch and Lorcan. Sorry, Birch and. Why did I say Imperium?
Because they kind of look alike. They all look alike.
Interesting.
It's like former crew, I guess. I don't know.
I guess so. They come out, Birch and Lorcan, and here's Undisputed Era to save Balor. They save him, put the boots to him, throw him out, and now they're going to do the pose. Is Balor in Undisputed Era? He's about to throw it up. Bam! Super kick.
Super kick from Cole to Balor. Right in the chinzo. And not only that, super kick to Kyle O'Reilly, too. Poor Kyle O'Reilly. He seems like a
super kick to Kyle O'Reilly. They set up the split of Undisputed Era, where you had Roderick Strong teaming, kind of siding with, not knowing what to do, but siding with Adam Cole. Obviously, he was upset over it, but you see now the split between Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor being on one side with the respect that they have for each other, and now you have Cole and Roddy on one, and Bobby Fish is somewhere in the middle. Does this make... There's so many scenarios here, right? One, are we going to see Kyle O'Reilly? Are we going to see Cole and Kyle in a match, which I think that's where it's headed? Where does Bobby Fish go? Is this the beginning of the Balor Club in NXT, officially having a Balor Club? A lot of moving parts here. I thought the ending was great. I loved it. Kept it open. Made me want to ask questions. Definitely a thumbs up. Rich, tell me.
Thumbs up, way up. Siskel and Ebert style. 2 thumbs up, way up. But I think you're going to get there's a lot to get out of this meal, right? NXT just presented us with a feast. So you're going to get a tag team matches between Kyle and Finn versus Cole and Roddy. This is all depending on Fish, like how long Fish is out for, right? So not only do you have that, but you also could have the culmination of these tag team matches and Kyle turning to Finn and saying like, hey, look, we've been partnering for X amount of time or whatever. I still want that belt. And you get a ridiculous Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly too. That's what I want out of this. And then probably a Cole match too, right? And a Roddy match. Yeah. Like you're going to have Finn facing every single member of Undisputed going down the line. And it's like, listen, he's got his schedule. That's great. And then McAfee showing up, right? Maybe somebody else showing up. Who knows? Karrion Kross showing up. So it kind of works. McAfee, whatever, dude.
McAfee.
Whatever, dude. Listen, man,
Speak
American.
Hey, speak American. What do you think, Jonathan?
I liked it. 2 thumbs up on my end. I really like the ending with the Undisputed Era. I get tired of people quickly, and I get tired of factions quickly. So I always love a good change up to gimmicks. Like I'm a big sucker when football teams change their jerseys. So any change I'm a fan of. So I'm happy to.
Is that because of like ADHD or is that just in general?
Probably ADHD.
Okay.
And he lives in LA. They're not a fan of anything.
I give it a thumbs up, and you know what, MG Geek, you can't teach that.
Oh, busting out that Enzo.
And you can't teach that.
MG Geek, are you upset that Enzo didn't show up as the surprise?
I'm okay with Enzo not showing up.
If he came to NXT, I would blow a gasket because that would be so fun just to see him back there in the small arena.
Honestly, if he came back and he was the gimmick with like the checkered hair and that, I'd be cool with that. I liked that Enzo. That Enzo was the jam. It's when he went to the main roster and
no one says the Jam anymore.
I say
What
the
is
Jam.
you? 107?
Oh my God.
Why are you capping, bro?
Dude, we're all old. Deal with it.
We're all jamming. All right. So, listen, man, I enjoyed the show. Thank you, MG Geek. Thank you for the jam. I enjoyed the show a lot. I thought it was it was a nice showing at the end. Now, one thing we forgot, Eli Drake from Impact Wrestling and NWA debuted in NXT on the pre-show, and you saw a contract signing during the show as LA Knight. La Knight. He cut a typical, Eli Drake great promo in the beginning. He did his whole catchphrase, and he didn't say dummy though, right? Did he say dummy?
No. He's going to get that Rock comparison with his delivery, because his delivery is very cadence.
I see Ken Kennedy.
Very Rock cadence.
I see Ken Kennedy. That's all I see.
I don't know. I see them both, but yeah, I can see that, and then he's going to get shit on by the masses. Oh, you want to be the Rock? By that, I could see it. I don't know.
You mean you and your 6 burner accounts?
Yeah, all of his burner accounts. He's gonna write commentary.
I have
MG,
20,000.
You got mad burner accounts going on?
I have a bot army, dude.
That's how we get our viewers.
Oh yeah, he's
MG
Russian.
You're the guy,
dude. It's all MG Geek in the chat room. We don't have one real viewer.
Oh my
Not
God.
one actual viewer here.
Have we been doing this all for MG Geek?
Dude, for years.
Videos I cut, all those viewers. Yep.
Look at this. Vinny, MG Geek. Charlie's MG Geek. Dave D, MG Geek. Eric, MG Geek.
Oh my God.
Everybody's
you know what
MG
I
Geek.
am?
This is a nightmare.
You know what I am? I'm in WandaVision, and I'm taking.
Oh God, the potatoes kicking in.
Oh shit. All right. We're gonna wrap it up here, but I thought it was a good show. I enjoyed the show, nice and quick.
Fantastic.
2.5 hours. This is the way that this show should be. Very enjoyable. I thought everybody did a decent job. Everybody did a good job. Anything we want to add to this before we wrap it up? Wrap up this quick recap of the show.
Well, where can everybody find us, Andrew?
Well, obviously on Twitter, Matt Men Podcast on Twitter. You can follow us everywhere podcasts are available. Guys, do us a favor, subscribe to the podcast. It's a huge help when you guys do that. I know a lot of you guys listen live, and that's how you do it, or you listen on YouTube, you watch on YouTube. Do us also this favor. Find your favorite podcast app. It could be Apple Podcasts, it could be Google, it could be Pocket Cast, it could be Spotify, it could be Stitcher, it could be anything. TuneIn, Pandora, we're everywhere. Subscribe to us. Automatically downloads each episode. If you want to watch us, you can subscribe to us here on YouTube, youtube.com/MattMenPodcast. We're on our way to 5,000 subscribers, hopefully 10K by the end of the year. I want to have 10,000 subscribers here. We're almost there. And it's all because of you guys. ProWrestlingTees.com/MattMenPodcast. Get your Mattmen t-shirt there. And, of course, Patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. You can fund us as little as $1 per episode. And it goes a very long way here on the show. Rich, BTC Rich, and BTC Behind the Counter 2.0. The podcast is back. Where can people find it?
You can find it on BTC Rich X on YouTube. You can find me on BTC Rich on Twitter. And that's pretty much it. I mean, once a week we do Matt Men Podcast, and it's awesome. It's the highlight of my week. That's it. You can find me on YouTube with Andrew. Yeah. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff this year. It's going to be great.
We've already done some, dude, from last year to today, right? Because we're almost at a year from the pandemic, right?
Oh
WrestleMania
God, yeah.
was. Did we do a show before WrestleMania?
Crap.
I think we did a watch. No, I think we are. We are almost at a year.
We did Elimination Chamber.
And everything changed. The whole show, I mean, really, to be honest, I was wrapping it up, but I kind of want to say this. From a year ago to today, everything has changed. In a good way, positive. Like, we're still the same show. But
we're almost a year into that episode where you...
we have a TikTok.
We do.
Yeah, you were almost a year into that episode where you swore up and down that Mania wasn't going to get canceled.
And it didn't.
Then the world it didn't. And you were right. But I remember that's when the pandemic, everybody started panicking.
I'll tell you why. I knew it would not get canceled. Okay?
I knew why it would get canceled. His name
Listen, the world turned upside down.
Because in order to collect the insurance money, they had to run a show with no fans. Okay? So they couldn't cancel it because they had to do the show in order to claim a loss.
Right.
So there's a lot more to that. We'll do like a whole behind the scenes. I would love, Rich, you and I should do like a 1 year of everything that happened and everything that was supposed to happen that didn't happen.
Let's put that on Patreon. Let's do it.
Okay, we should do that. We should do
that. MG, let's get the notes together.
On it.
I'm
on it.
So
let's do it.
Okay, MGK can put it together because I was feeding him all this information throughout this process. From and not just WrestleMania. I want to talk about the year. Like talk about the year. You know, the scandals, the speak out movement, the Velveteen issues.
Oh yeah,
the Photoshops.
Who would have debuted in WWE that didn't? Who got fired?
Yeah,
that wouldn't have been fired. Who debuted? Like, there's a lot of these moving parts that
we did a lot in our year end, but that was a little different, though.
It was a little different, but now we're at the year point, so we could go back and say, you know what? This was supposed to happen, and I could.
This was crazy.
It. Well, I could tell you, Drew's run was going to be totally different.
Yeah.
Him and Brock were going to be at SummerSlam.
So, Mat Men 2020 retrospective, the do's, don'ts, who's, and what ifs.
The first year of the pandemic.
Yeah, the first year of the pandemic. Very interesting. We could do
Fascinating.
this.
Yeah,
guys,
it's gonna be good.
Jonathan, where can people find you?
You can find me on all social media at Official Risk, OFFICIALRIZK. I also run the Mat Men TikTok at Mat Men Pro Wrestling. We did a nice little Elimination Chamber one that's like over 10,000. So go hop on that and view that. And yeah, MG Geek is SAWFT soft.
Oh shit!
Oh God, he's dropped it down. Was that
Mr. Gonzo.
My lead-in?
That was your lead-in, Mr. Gonzo.
Fight Forever. At 2 Fight Forever, number 2 Fight Forever on the Twit machine. And I'm going to start posting a lot more of the Mat Men stuff. We're doing a lot of the YouTube clips now where we're taking pieces of the show and fun things that the guys do. And I'm making them dance for me and then putting it out for you guys to like consume. Yeah. How's that?
That sounds good. I love dancing for you, MGG.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Love each and every one of you. Thanks a lot. We'll see you all on Thursday for another episode of Mat Men. See you then.